Okay, so now we'll see what is the difference between Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement. So first difference is simply it was adopted in 1987 but ratified in 2005. It was ratified in 2005. Here it was adopted in 2015 in COP21 Paris. Okay, in Paris summit, and ratified in 2016 onwards. Very quickly it got ratified in 2016. Right, this is one. Second one, you see, it is legally binding carbon emission reduction targets. Legally binding carbon emission reduction targets. That means what is this here? Targets to whom they are giving? They are giving these targets to Annex 1 countries, the developed countries. Okay, here Annex 1 countries, only to Annex 1 countries. Only they are Annex 1 countries. Why? Here you know that means 1 ton of reduction, 2 ton of reduction, 3 ton, 300 ton, 400 ton is been given, legally binding. Suppose here targets are given under the UNFCCC. So targets might be, for example, I'm telling you that 100 tons of carbon emission reduction, carbon emission for year 2015 and 2011 and 2012 for the US. Example, this is only example. So targets, particular targets has been given to Annex 1 countries. So targets has been given to them in the Annex 1 countries. Legally binding carbon emission reduction targets. This is one. Okay. So can I say this kind of approach here, this kind of approach? Okay, yeah, I'll tell you that later. Second point I will tell you here. This Paris Agreement is based on INDC. That is intended nationally determined contributions. See, what is this intended nationally determined contributions are? So before that, what happened was Annex 1 countries were given targets and it was implemented by only the countries that is historically responsible based on the CBDR and historically responsibility, these two principles, and also the third principle, LD, loss and damage. The developed countries were given the targets and they were reducing it, legally binding. Okay, fine, very good. But what about your developing countries? They are also responsible in today's climate change. They are also playing very important role. Like example, China, like example, India. Okay, they are also playing very crucial role in the climate change, in the global warming. So they should also be included in this role. This was an argument put forth by the developed countries. So what happened in the Paris Agreement? UNFCCC said, okay, I will leave it to your concern. Now you come out with your own plan how to reduce your targets, how to fix your targets in your own country. That means now there is no differential responsibility. Okay, everyone is equal and everyone has to contribute for the reduction of carbon emission. This was an argument. So what happened? Okay, I will not give any targets. In the UNFCCC said we will not fix any targets now. You come up with your own plan. So that is called as intended nationally determined contribution. What is the contribution from your side? What is the contribution from your side for emission or global warming reduction? So this was there. So based on the INDC, both Annex 1 and non-annex countries, Annex one countries have made the pledge, made committed pledge, commitment pledge, pledges. That means this will be my approach for reduction. Now tell me, can I say this is my bottom up approach? Bottom up approach, this is approach, and this is my top down approach. This is my top down approach. Okay, so if they ask you in the exam, Paris Agreement is a bottom up approach, yes, and Kyoto Protocol was a top down approach, yes, it was a top down approach, because from the developed countries the targets were going developed, developing, and least developed. But here everyone is contributing, LDCs, except LDCs, and they also, not only LDCs, everyone, LDCs, developing and developed country world, they are also contributing for this. So this is called as a top down approach or bottom up approach. So this was second point. Now the third point, you see, third point is there were two commitments in the Kyoto Protocol. What was that? KP, that means Kyoto Protocol was from 2008 to 2012. 2008 to 2012. So the target was fixed. Here the target was 5% based on 1990 emission levels. Okay, 1990 emission levels. So this is your target, that is 5% reduction based on 1990 emission levels. So that is KP1. It was called KP1, Kyoto Protocol 1. Then we have Kyoto Protocol 2 also, that is from 2013 to 2020. So 2021 onwards, Paris Agreement came. So what is the target here? The target was 18% reduction, 18% based on 1990 emission levels. This is one. Then here the third point, very important point, is that it is implemented post 2020 onwards. Okay, with stock review, stock take, or it is called as a review, stock take of NDCs, nationally determined contribution, every 5 years. So the target is 2021 to 2030. For the next 10 years, your Paris Agreement will be implemented. Okay, and one more important point, fourth important point, you see, so fourth important point is Green Climate Fund, GCF. So how much? It is $100 billion. The Green Climate Fund was formed in Cancun Summit. This is one. Then here the fourth one is $100 billion finance from 2021 to 2025. Only within 5 years, this much. And how? Who should give this? The developed countries should provide. Developed world should provide it to your developing, to the developing, and also through the least developed countries and islands. So this is one. Now I will come to your point, that is carbon market mechanism is implemented in this. Carbon market mechanism will be implemented from this. But here, beyond carbon market mechanism, beyond, that means with carbon market mechanism, there will be a, that is clean technology with sustainable mechanism will also be implemented. Now understood? What is sustainable development mechanism? That is sustainable agriculture kavachu. It might be sustainable agriculture, sustainable energies, solar energy, low carbon growth, low carbon or green economy, etc. All these are the things. Green economy. So I'll tell you what is green economy, etc. That is later part. So here, beyond the clear carbon market mechanism, the other parts also will be implemented in this. Is the point clear? Out here? Differences? Any doubt?